Hello, gentlemen, and thank you for clicking on this video. You're here because you want to know more about the main method. It's something I created for myself so that I could go to the gym, work, make my food, go to sleep early, make it a lot easier for me. The main method was started because there's so many lies being told to men right now. I need a Bugatti. I need to wake up at 4 a.m. Why am I running 5 miles if I should be running 10 miles? And I'm not the only one being told these things. The content that we're consuming is constantly telling us that we're not smart, that we're poor. Then they talk to us about the red pill, and it's just living in the 30s and the 50s. I'm here to tell you today that you are allowed to be the person that you want to be. And if you want to be a better version of you, then watch this video. But first, a disclaimer. I'm not a professional of any kind. I'm a person like you. I have opinions. I work a 9 to 5, or I work late nights. I collect a W-2. I file my taxes. I just live a regular life. I won't be prescribing you any pills. I'm not licensed to do anything. I just have an opinion, and I'm able to create a YouTube channel and share that opinion with you. If you don't like it, you can go to another channel. So without further ado, let's talk about what the main method is. The main method is an acronym, M-A-I-N. The M stands for make your own happiness. Notice I didn't say make your own bed. Now, if making your own bed makes you happy, then you should probably make your bed. In fact, if you're following the main method, you have to. If waking up early makes you happy, then you should do that. There's going to be things that take priority. If you have to work, then working out at a certain time is not possible. You have to do it before or after work. So there will be things that won't allow you to do it exactly the way you wish. But hopefully at some point you could get there. I also won't be leading you to $1 million. So it's simple, but it's not as easy sometimes. I understand. And sometimes it's not going to be as hard. You should be making your own happiness. And at the same time, you should be allowing others to do that for themselves. You should not be impeding people from making themselves happy. Let me give you an example before we move on to A. I like working out, but walking 20 minutes to the gym and walking 20 minutes back home, it's tough sometimes. But I have figured that it's better to deal with those 40 minutes than an entire day of not being happy with myself. Though the walk in total is 40 minutes, once I start walking about 10 minutes in and I'm halfway there, I'm feeling good about myself. And the walk back home, well, there's no choice. I have to get home anyway. So the A stands for ask important questions respectfully. Let me mention something that's really popular right now. It's a guy interviewing a bunch of women. Now, because of the drama, you're going to ask an important question within the context and say, what do you think about being a hoe? Is it going to affect your dating life? You've asked that question because you're looking for drama. This is content that's going to do really well on YouTube. Asking that question using the main method would be to ask, are you concerned about your dating life because of what you do? And if so, what are those concerns? Within the context of that conversation, that's a great question. And throughout your life, you're going to be met with a lot of situations where you may want to make an assumption. Now, if there's a rock falling and you look up and you see it coming down, okay, you can assume immediately I should move out the way. You don't have to ask any questions. But if you're just getting to know someone, if you're at a job, if you don't know how to do something, don't make assumptions. Just ask a very important question and do so respectfully. It's simple. Don't ask a question to try and make someone feel dumb, a rhetorical question to make them feel dumb. Don't ask them something so that people can say, man, he's so cool. He's an a-hole, but he's just straightforward. You can be straightforward and respectful. Let's move on to the next one because this is going to be a quick video. The I stands for identify and address your issues. Identify and address your urges. Whatever situation that you are now taking steps backwards towards goals, identify those and address them. And again, this can be applied to anything. And of course, the severity of situations is going to vary. I understand. Let me give you a quick example. I like Sara Lee's cheesecakes and Ben & Jerry's ice cream. And I was eating them at the same time in one sitting, like 2,500 calories. And I've identified that issue. And the way I addressed it is take slices now and a scoop of ice cream. And then finally, the N. But before I give you this one, I have honorary mentions that I will include. The N stands for never say never. Well, you just said it. I understand. And that's why it's so good. It's just to emphasize the importance of it. Never say never, because the moment you do the thing that you said you would never do, it's going to feel so much worse to forgive yourself. It's going to be so hard. Be easy on yourself. Be kind. Give yourself space to make mistakes. Mistakes are lessons if you treat them that way. So never say never. And that's it. That's the main method. Let's move on to the honorary mentions. Respect others, because as much as you want to work on yourself, If you are still being disrespectful and rude and just a straight a-hole to others, then what are you doing? It's not going to work. And finally, set boundaries. Boundaries should be your responsibility. It should not impede anyone from doing anything. Now, if someone's disrespecting you and you want to impede them from doing that, okay, then in that situation, you have to get out. You can't set a boundary where you're going to say, any stripper I date can no longer strip. That's just my boundary. No, your boundary should be, you're not going to date strippers. And then you actually don't date strippers. You can't date a stripper. And then now you're going to tell her, hey, my boundary is I decided I will not allow you to strip. It's just my boundary. You can't do that. Now, if you're telling her, hey, we're not going to be able to date anymore if you continue stripping, I understood what I got into. There's going to be nuances, of course. But if you straight up set a boundary like that, and I'm using that for example because of all the content that's out there, I guess. You're being unfair to her if you're going to be doing that, honestly. So don't date a stripper or stay single. With that being said, gentlemen, I appreciate you for stopping by. But we're going to continue talking about the main method and other things that make us who we are. We're going to talk about our goals, what we want to do. I hope you've liked the video. And if you have, subscribe, comment, like the video, share it. I look forward to the next one.